Hello. In ToolKit 6.3, we have introduced the ability to save your trend chart configurations. In ToolKit, there's two types of trend charts. The first is an embedded trend chart, and so that's the one I'm going to show you now. I've got a tool open. It's got a trend chart on a page, thus it's an embedded trend chart. The properties for this trend chart come from the tool themselves, and so we have allowed users to be able to change the properties of the trend chart. So I'll go ahead and open up the properties here, and let's just say I want to change the color of a pen, possibly hide the scale position of this one, those types of things. So you configure the trend chart. Now, in past versions of ToolKit, if you closed your tool and reopened it, these changes did not persist. And so what we've introduced now is the ability to come up here on the trend chart and save your configuration. Now, this configuration gets saved in the tool options file, and so the next time you open up this configuration or this tool, you'll be able to select this configuration. So we gave users the ability to change from their configuration back to the defaults. So this is back to the defaults of the tool, and then I can also select my configuration. Now if I go ahead and close this tool now, open back up the tool, you'll notice that it goes back to defaults, but now I'm able to come in here and select my configuration that I saved and reapply it. So that should hopefully save users quite a bit of time. The second type of trend chart that ToolKit supports is called a trend on the fly. If you have a tool open and you have components on a page, you can right click on any component that's tied to a parameter and you can add that parameter to a trend. It pops up in a window, trend on the fly window, that allows you to then trend that parameter. So I'm going to go ahead and add all three of these to this trend on the fly window. Okay, so now I've set up this trend on the fly window with some plots. I'd also like to change some properties. So again, I'll make a few changes. Hide this scale position. And I'll save this. So in past versions of ToolKit, if I close this trend on the fly window and then reopened, I would lose all my configuration. So now again, you're able to come up here and you're able to save your configuration to whatever name you want, and this will be associated with the tool. And so now I'll be able to open this later on within the tool without losing it. So I can go ahead and trend this just like I normally do. Okay, so now I can go ahead and close this, and now over here on the tools ribbon there's a trending section and there's a configurations now. So whatever configurations have been saved to the tool for trend on the fly, they're going to show up here, and you're going to be able to open that back up and then restart your trend. And again, these are available once you close the tool and reopen them. They're persistent throughout. So once you set up a trend on the fly configuration and save it, you're able to restore it every time that you open the tool. Again, hoping this saves a lot of time and effort. In ToolKit 6.3, we are also introducing the ability to open and view data log files in their own window. In the past, if you wanted to view a data log file, you had to open it in a trend chart that was pre-configured for the data log. So if you go up to the Tools ribbon, underneath the trending now, you'll see there's a data log here. So if I select this, it'll take me to my data log folder. I have a data log file that I've already saved, so I'm just going to open that. When you open up a data log now, it's going to prompt you for which parameters you want to add as plots. So I'm just going to add all of these right now. Again, just like with the trend chart, you're able to configure. So if you wanted to change some colors, any properties that you want to change, you can go ahead and change those just like you do on a regular trend chart. So now a data log now opens up in its own window. You can come in here, you can zoom, you can pan, and all those changes that you make can now be saved into what we call a data log options file, which then allow you to share that options file along with the data log with someone else. So now that I've configured the way I want this with the plots, just whatever properties I want to do, then I can go ahead and save this options file. And so okay, so now that I've done that work, if I want to, I can come back up here to the data log, and now I can open that data log options file directly, and it will open up the data log viewer with the options that I pre-selected. So as I said before, you can potentially, you can use this yourself to look at data logs, but you can also save that data log options file and send it to another user along with the data log, and they're able to open it up with what you're seeing. Along with the ability to open a ToolKit data log file in its own window, we've also added the ability to open a gap binary data log file. In order to open one of these files, you must have the ToolKit developer license. Without the license, the ability to open them will be turned off. Just go to the Tools ribbon, click on the data log, select a gap data log file. Again, it's going to prompt you for which plots you're going to want to see. I'll just go ahead and add all of them, and there you can now view gap data log files. You can also save a data log options file with these and send those along with data log files, or reopen them to have your configuration that you have. For more detailed information on how to work with trend chart configurations and data logs within ToolKit, please see the ToolKit help file.